Hello, I'm Paul Anhalt, and this is my policy project on the US tariffs on Chinese tooling. Now, why am I mentioning tariffs? What got us here? It starts in the 70s and 80s when large American corporations started to make outsourcing labor and manufacturing a standard practice. China got a lot of that manufacturing work and they got good at it. Fast forward to 2018 when every year America would import $400 billion more of goods from China than China imported from America. To try and reinvigorate domestic American manufacturing jobs, the US government put steep tariffs on importing Chinese goods, including all sorts of machine tools like the injection mold seen on the right. These machine tool tariffs were very important because machine tools are used in all sorts of products, especially cars. Something nominally manufactured in America is probably made with tools from China. China responded with their own tariffs on American imports. They too tried to sign a trade deal, but that failed, and that leaves us at the current day where we both have high imports tariffs between US and China. So, how are the tariffs going? Well, they seem to work for the first 2 or 3 months. There were stories of American corporations like Milwaukee Tool bringing their tooling and manufacturing back to the US, and many American tool makers got sharp increases in business, as was the hope. For example, MSI Mold Builders got $2 million in contracts in the first 2 months. However, this didn't change the fact that American manufacturers needed tools right now, and Chinese tool makers were always much faster to fill that demand than the US toolers. In light of the high tool prices, American corporations cut spending on tooling or found ways around the tariff instead of only using American manufacturers. The domestic industry, tool industry, lost nearly 10% of its businesses in 2019 alone. These tariffs bring us to the current day in 2022. So what should America do now? I think that instead of competing with China in a brute force head-on, we should just abandon these tariffs and try to get Chinese manufacturers to come to the US. This policy could be some incentive to Chinese tooling companies to send top engineers to the US, or we could otherwise poach large Chinese manufacturers. By hybridizing the Chinese manufacturer's experience and production speed with the American manufacturer's well-known quality control, I think that we could develop innovative new machine tool production methods that would make American toolers competitive in the global market again. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed.